Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for today's Bhagavath Katha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini. Nama Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Gadadara Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I pay my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. I express my all gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and many praises to him for the golden opportunity given to by us to go back to Godhead. All goes to Srila Prabhupada for his wonderful devotional services to Srimati Radharani and Lord Gopinath. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Hare Krishna. We are continuing with the Srimad Bhagavatam. In reply to the questions of the sages in the first chapter, Srila Sutta Maharshi started giving replies to the Munis. We are in the 17th verse today. I shall repeat the sloka slowly. Please repeat with me thrice. Thereafter I will tell the narration. Please tell loudly. Srunnavatam Swa Kataha Krishnaha Punya Shavana Kirtanaha Hrudi Antaha Astohi Abhadran Vidunoti Suhud Satam Sunvatam Swa Kataha Krishnaha Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hrudi Antahasto Hi Abhadrani Idunoti Suhrit Satam Sunavatam Swa Kataha Krishnaha Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hrudi Antaha Sohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhrit Satam Srinavatam Swakataha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtanaha Hrudi Antahasto Hi Abhadrani Vidnoti Suhrit Satam. The word-to-word meaning of this verse, Srinavatam, those who have developed the urge to hear the message of Swakataha, his own words, Krishnaha, the personality of Godhead, Punya, virtues, Shravana, hearing, Kirtanaha, chanting, Hridi Antaha Asta, within one's heart, he certainly, Abhadrani, desire to enjoy the matter, Vidunoti, cleanses, Surut, benefactor, Satam, of the truthful. The immediate translation of this verse is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, the super soul in everyone's heart and benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtues when properly heard and chanted. Here, the Sri Krishna personality, the Supreme God, who is the Paramatma within every living being. Being the benefactor of the truthful devotee. Whenever the devotee is very truthful and he desires to clear all his material enjoyment, to get relieved, to renunciate all the attachment having with this present materialistic desires. From such devotee, the Lord will help him to get rid of all those desires. His messages are in themselves virtues when properly heard and chanted. So, message of personality of God had Sri Krishna are not different from him. Like the Srimad Bhagavath Katha, he has been sung by Sri Krishna him directly. He has instructed Arjuna on the first day in the midst of the battlefield in Kurukshetra. So, the messages given to Arjuna is nothing but he himself. We can take the words of Krishna spoken in Bhagavad Katha as Krishna himself. Whenever therefore offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that the Lord Krishna is present there in form of transcendental sound. So we need to understand whatever he has spoken in his own words and what we hear in the form of a transcendental sound is equal to the as powerful as Lord personally. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shistastaka declares clearly that the holy name of Lord has all the potencies of Lord, and he has endowed his innumerable names in the same potency. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us a golden opportunity in chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. And this Hare Krishna Mahamantra has all potencies, all the energies which Supreme Lord possesses. There is no difference between the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Supreme God Himself. And His innumerable names in the same potencies. There is no rigid fixture of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with the attention and reverence of at his convenience. See, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is given by us given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in this Kali Yuga, we have very less time in devoting ourselves in the service of God. So, and this Hare Krishna is such a mantra, it can be chanted anywhere at any place. There are no restrictions or regulations for that one. We can chant, it is 24 hours, any time, whenever we are free in this Kali Yuga time, we can chant His name at our convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that He can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. When we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the transcendental sound which is created in our minds, that itself is the form of Krishna, and He would help in that transcendental form itself. He can be present before us personally in that form. So we have no taste for hearing, but unfortunately we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. This Kali Yuga, which is the time of Iron Age, here we are so busy struggling for our existence. Right from the sunrise till late in the night, we will be doing so much of hardship for to fulfill the various desires attracted in this nature, to satisfy our self as well as our family members. So we are trying to fulfill all these desires. But otherwise we are unable to contribute any of our time in the hearing to the glories of the Paramatma in any proper satsang, and we are not able to devote any such time to chant his name or participate in any of his activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. In the earlier Bhagavath Katha, we have heard how to glorify his name, how to remember him, how to associate with the devotees. See, whatever you hear in this satsang or in any other place where the satsang is going on, glorifying the Supreme God's name, that can be glorified by practicing to preach the same thing. Whatever you heard over here, same thing you try to preach at home to your elder parents, to your other spouse, to your children, and whenever you meet some friends or relatives, instead of talking something useless things about this materialistic requirements or desires, you can preach them about the glorifying the God, whatever you heard in the satsang. Like that you can glorify the Paramatma name. Also you will be remembering him indirectly, and directly you need to chant at least one round holding the beads which has count of 108 times. So like that, if you start practicing in the initial days, beginning days, it might take some 15 to 20 minutes. Otherwise, once you practice, it hardly takes 8 to 10 minutes. So in this Kali Yuga's time, at least if we can spare that 8 to 10 times in chanting the holy name, at the end of this life, we do not know in what stage we will be there. So, because if this practice is made a regular habit, we will be able to remember his holy name at the end of our life, so that we can be qualified to go back to Godhead by getting liberated from this cycle of birth and death. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotees of the Lord. Wherever the Lord's pure devotees are present, try to associate with the devotees and gain the knowledge from the devotees. As well, whatever knowledge you acquired, try to share them. Like that, you will be glorifying as well remembering the Supreme God. The Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotees. It is not one-sided affair that just we are chanting and Paramatma is here. Paramatma in the Archa Rupa, that is Vigraha Rupa, deity form, he can understand everything. It is our ignorance if we think that he cannot hear our hear to our plea or any of our desires which we express. He can understand all our desires. He can hear to whatever we tell before him in the Archa Vigraha Rup, and he would sympathetically consider to the devotees' needs. Whenever that time comes, he would fulfill all our desires at appropriate times. It is not that we desire now and it should be instant, like something like Maggi which can be done instant. So God knows when he should reward us with any of our desires. He would definitely fulfill the desires of the pure devotee, and also he makes the devotee to be qualified for the liberation from this life cycle. When he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord, and has thus become eager to hear about him. The Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that devotee may easily go back to him. See, the Paramatma is spread all over. He is there throughout all the universes everywhere. And he is also has all his potencies in the Archa Vigraha Roop. Similarly, being as a Paramatma within the heart of ourselves, he is full of all potencies and energies. He would understand the devotees, pure devotees' intentions, and he would certainly help the devotee to achieve his goal in this planet as well as in the other heavenly planets. Also, he makes us eligible for liberation. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into His kingdom than we can desire. See, sir, just like, for illustration, it's just like any one of our son or daughters, they are away in other abroad countries like America, United Kingdom or Australia or some other place. The parents will be very anxious to receive them because their progeny is separated from them and living separately for a very long time. So whenever the progeny tries to come back, it's not that that son or daughter is happy to come back. These parents, they feel very happy. Then their children, because after a very long time they will be able to see their children. Similarly, when we desire to go back to Godhead and we try all our at all levels our level to qualify for liberation, God Himself will help us and He will feel more happy to receive us back at His home, which is our original home. The Lord is more anxious to take us back to His kingdom like that. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead because we are attracted by the nature's materialistic things in this world. We would like to achieve them, acquire them and enjoy with them. But we don't. We will be very happy even if it is for short time. We never understand that they are just temporary and it will not exist permanently. We might feel happy for few hours, a day or for few months, but thereafter we will not continue with that happiness what we have achieved in this materialistic world. We need to understand that these happiness in the world is very temporary. By associating in with the devotees and in satsang, we should listen to the preachings made by them and try to control our mind to renunciate the materialistic desires. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna Paramatma himself, while instructing it to the Arjuna, he has mentioned that out of the several crores and crores of human beings in this world who can understand, who have the intelligence and understand the Bhagavad Gita, out of them only a lakh or two might understand the instructions given by the Lord. And out of the so many few lakhs, only a few thousands would sincerely try to follow the instructions. Once again, out of those few thousands, maybe few hundreds or only just few people who can be counted on fingers, they will be qualified for the liberation. Because all the people though they have understood him, will get attracted to these materialistic things, unable to control the mind, control the mind. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. In the initial stages, we might have faced lot of difficulties, but we need to tolerate all those things with great patience, because Krishna, Supreme God, He tests each and every pure devotee, whether he is sincere in his worship to the Supreme Lord, as well as his desire for liberation is also honest and truthful to go back to Godhead. During this testing period, though earlier we had lot of temporary happiness, God might give us a little bit of sufferings and sees whether we can tolerate those sufferings. If we can pass in that exam, which is conducted by the Supreme God Himself, then He would give us back whatever happiness we need in this world by providing all our needs for existence in the world, as well as He will also help us to qualify for the liberation. One cannot enter into kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. See, while living in this world, we, along with some good virtues, we must have also done some bad deeds, for which we would have accumulated some bad virtues also, papa. We have acquired both papa and sin. So that should be removed. Until unless you surrender completely to Krishna, those sins cannot be removed, or even the punya what we have acquired in the present life cannot be removed. If we completely surrender to Him, Krishna Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 66 sloka, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, in that verse He has clearly mentioned that anyone who is completely surrendered, leaving all the rituals, forgetting all the rituals, when once he is surrendered to Krishna Paramatma, he would remove all the hurdles of this good and bad virtues acquired in this life as well as in the all other previous lives. And he would take back that devotee to his original home. So we need to be a pure devotee and do all good virtues without any desires. That is, we have to perform our karma. It should be nishkama karma. We can't be just sitting idle without doing any karma. That is quite impossible for any individual. Whether it is a person who is living in this grihastha family as a householder, or a monk also cannot sit idle. One has to perform daily rituals like waking up and finishing the daily rituals and all those things. Even a monk has a higher responsibility than the householder. Householder has a responsibility to fulfill the desires of himself as his family, whereas a sannyasi will have higher responsibilities like preaching about the glories of God in the society, in the country, as well as in the entire world, so that everyone will hear to his glories about his Supreme Lord. So one cannot sit without doing any karma. Everyone has to do karma, but it should be nishkama karma, that is without any desires. If you get something, you enjoy it, be happy, but for any reason you don't get it, you should not be that in spite of your hardship you could not get it. And you should not blame anyone, including some people. They say, I have made so much of worship, I was devoted to the Supreme God, but He has not blessed me. It is not. God knows when He needs to give you whatever your desires are there. He would fulfill if it is really appropriate at appropriate time. So, the material sins are products of desires to lord it over the material nature. See, as I told you earlier, whatever materialistic desires we have, they are very much temporary. We might get it or we may not get it. We do all our actions in a positive way, but for some reason, or because of our earlier bad virtues or present in the present life, we may not get it. So we should never feel for that and cannot blame any other individual or even the Supreme Lord that He has not blessed with the desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path of Godhead. A pure devotee who is in the path of liberation, he should be very much renunciated with the wealth, our materialistic wealth available in this world, as well as he should be away from the women, because these two are the most important thing which would lead us into a wrong path. And though we are in the path of liberation, they might create that we cannot control our mind, and they would attract us in their path. So we should, as a pure devotee, we should try to be away from this both wealth as well as women, to progress in our path of liberation. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from path of liberation. Brahmarshi Vishwamitra, before he became a Brahmarshi, he had made the penance for very long period of many thousands of years. Every time when he made himself determined to do penance to achieve his goal of becoming a Brahmarshi, Devendra, the king of the three lokas, he sent Apsaras like either Urvashi or Ramba or Menaka or Tirotama to disturb the Maharshi continuing the penance. And when they have appeared before him, he was attracted by them. Like that, attraction of a woman is very easy for deviating even a pure devotee from continuing his devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Vishwamitra, after doing penance for great period of some 60,000 and more, then he could become a Brahmarshi. So when a person like him had to face hurdles, we would become victims by easily attracted to the wealth and women in this Kali Yuga time. But when one is helped by the Krishna himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of Lord. When we continue our devotional services in the Supreme Lord and we pass the test conducted by the Lord about our devotional services, our affection in Him and our sincere efforts to get liberated in the path of moksha, He would Himself bless us to control our minds, and also will make us not to deviate towards this materialistic wealth or women. To become restless in contact with common women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things from remote time, practically immemorial. Not only Brahmarshi Vishwamitra, like that, there are many other sages and Rajarshis who tried to do penance and achieve the final goal of liberation. But when they have seen some other women, like some Apsarasas or any other beautiful women before them, their penance would be disturbed. It's not surprise that they will fall into their attraction. And it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. When we are distracted by the attraction of some wealth or women while we are in the service of God, again to come back to this devotional service, it would take lot of time. Sometimes it may not be possible in this life. We may have to take another birth as a human being, because taking birth of different creatures, we will not be able to do any devotional service. Even if we go to higher planets, we will not be able to do any devotional service to Supreme Lord, because by good virtues, when we go to higher planets, we enjoy the higher planets, whatever happiness is there, but we cannot do any devotional services there. We need to come back as a human being. Then only we can perform this devotional service unto the Lord of service, unto the lotus feet of the Lord. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his position. A devotee who has been disturbed by the attraction of wealth or a woman, and again he tries to come back to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord, he need to associate in many satsangs where the Bhagavan, Sri Krishna Paramatma, the Supreme Lord is glorified. And also he should make it a regular practice to continuously attend the satsangs and hear and chant and glorify Him. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbance. Once you practice remembering the God, again God Himself will give some opportunity by providing you one authorized spiritual master. Like this Suta Maharshi was found by the sages in the Naimisharanya. Suta Maharshi was the disciple of Sukadeva. Again, Sukadeva was the son of Vyasa Maharshi, but while in the womb of his mother itself, Vyasa Maharshi has imparted all the knowledge to Suka Maharshi. Like that, God has provided the spiritual, a sincere, truthful Acharya to these sages in Naimisharanya. And similarly, God would provide, if we are doing devotional services truthfully, God Himself will provide us an Acharya at appropriate time. Even before that one, since Krishna Paramatma is Himself, He is our Adi, He is the first parent, He is Adi Purusha, He is Adi Pita, Adi Mata, as well as He is the Adi Guru. So, considering Krishna Paramatma as Adi Guru, you start doing chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, so that a day you will find an Acharya who would initiate with the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, you can show it to them also. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra has been given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because I told you many times, again repeatedly I am telling you, in Satya Yuga, when Harishchandra was there, you must be knowing Satya Harishchandra was very honest. That was Satya Yuga. At that time, human life was 1 lakh years. 1 lakh years, they could possibly do thousands of years penance and then God used to manifest before them. But that is possible during Treta Yuga, when Rama has incarnated. In that Treta Yuga time, because of adharma has come down by 25%. The lifespan of also human also it has come down. It was only 10,000 years human life during Treta Yuga, during Rama's period. And Sri Rama, the Supreme Lord, he incarnated in the form of a human form. One reason is to kill Ravana. He can't come in the Supreme God as himself, he cannot manifest. He needs to be killed as a human being. So, as a human being, he has shown how to behave with a father, how to respect parents, how to spend life with a other spouse, how to behave, respect brothers, how to behave with animals like Jatayu, a bird, a Jambavanta, a bear, so many crores of monkeys. Like that, Rama has performed and he has shown. During that one, people who understood him, followed him, and they called him as Uttama Purusha, they made him as Purushottama. Like that, he got a name Purushottama. Whereas later onwards, nobody followed his followings. And in Dwapara Yuga, Krishna Paramatma himself has incarnated as a Krishna himself. The original Supreme Lord, who is Lord Krishna, he himself has incarnated as Krishna Paramatma in Dwapara Yuga. By the time human life has come down from 10,000 to 1,000 in years, because Dharma has also come down by 50%. And Krishna, he tried to give instruction many times, several times. It's not just Bhagavath Katha to Arjuna in Kurukshetra war. When he was a child, he has opened his mouth to his Yashoda Mata, shown all the universe. She was surprised and she thought it's only God, with God's blessing he has shown the universe. She never questioned him. Otherwise, he would have narrated, given all instruction. When he made dance with all the gopis, thousands of gopis in thousands of Krishna's form, all the gopis enjoyed Krishna individually, but they never asked, "Who are you, Krishna? You are seen in so many forms." They never questioned. If they had questioned, Krishna would explain it. Again, when he lifted Govardhana Girvi on his little finger, nobody questioned because he is all strength. A boy of 8 years old can't lift such a big, huge mountain. And after that also, when they offered him Krishna all around the hill, because there was a huge crowd, everybody sitting all around the Govardhana Parvata and offering. Krishna all around down in different forms, he has accepted everyone's offerings. And they thought God is taking, but they never knew Krishna is himself is taking. They never questioned Krishna. Again, when he showed his Virat Swarupa as Dhritarashtra, who was blind, he has given him divine vision and shown his Virat this thing. Dhritarashtra, seeing that one, what he told to Krishna was different. Krishna, after seeing your Virat Rupa, please take back my vision, because I can't see my children fighting with, battling in with Pandavas. I can't see them being killed by them. So please take back my vision, he says. He never sought, who are you? And he never asked the instruction, and he never asked any other. He never tried to make adjustment, sandhi, even to make sandhi with them, to adjustment and live happily. He never tried. Only when Krishna questioned Krishna in the battlefield on the first day, Krishna, I am seeing all my relatives and friends, and if I fight, I am not afraid of them, because in Virat Nagar, he alone fought with the same Kauravas and won the battle. Now also he can win. At that time, he won the battle because as a servant of that Virat Maharaja, he fought. But now he is fighting for himself to acquire the kingdom. So it was that was not for selfishness. This is for selfish purpose. So he said, for my kingdom purpose, I don't want to kill all my relatives, my acharyas and so many friends. So at that time, Krishna took the opportunity. Then he said, okay, Arjuna, you listen to me. Then he started the entire first chapter in Bhagavad Gita is only weeping of Krishna. Only from the second verse of second chapter in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna started instructing Arjuna. Throughout the 18 chapters, Krishna instructed Arjuna in many forms about the karma, dharma, jnana, all those things. Because it is not for the purpose of Arjuna. Again, you please know that Arjuna is also nothing but Krishna himself. In Dwapara Yuga, Krishna, Supreme Lord, from Goloka Vrindavana, when he incarnated in Dwapara Yuga, he took 5 incarnations. One is Vyasa Bhagavan. Vyasa Bhagavan is also Krishna Paramatma himself. Arjuna, Naranarayana. Earlier incarnation, Krishna was Naranarayana. Nara is Arjuna, Narayana is Krishna. Again, this Rukmini's son, Pradyumna is Arjuna. Pradyumna's son, Aniruddha is Krishna. And Krishna himself is Krishna. Like that, he had 5 incarnations in Dwapara Yuga. And nobody understood Krishna. Though he was in 5 different incarnations and he tried to explain, no one was interested to listen Krishna's instruction. Only very few understood it. So, because in this Kali Yuga, Krishna thought, if I incarnate as myself, nobody would understand in Kali Yuga, because in Dharma has come down by, they say it is 75%. But as it is now, we say 99% is adharma is prevailing. After another 10,000 years, it will be 100% adharma. So, Krishna himself around 600 to 700 years ago, Krishna himself has incarnated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was a devotee of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never told that he is Krishna. He told, I am devotee of Krishna. Whenever two persons who recognized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, when they said Bhagavan, he closed his ears, not hearing the response. He was chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He gave us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There are so many other mantras like Ashtakshi Mahamantra, Dwadashi Mahamantra, but they are very auspicious, and we can meditate and chant those mantras with some regulations. We need to wake up early morning around 3-4 o'clock. Even before taking water, we need, after bath and other things, we need to meditate on that one. Unless that we can't do. But whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can chant this Mahamantra anytime, any place. While bathing, while taking up food, while driving, while traveling, while doing your work, you can chant this number. Like this one, see, I'll tell you one small story. King Ambarisha, he was there here, maybe around some 800-900 years back. At that time, he was a pure devotee of Krishna, and he was ruling the country in Dharma path, in this Kali Yuga. With all good virtues, he was ruling the kingdom. But at the same time, all his body parts he was using in the service of God. He used to go to temple by walk. As a king, he was a very big king. He was going to temple by walk. He used to groom the temple. Maybe you have seen some WhatsApp message, I think. Even our Prime Minister, he has groomed one temple there during the last week. Similarly, this king, he used to groom not one day, every day he used to groom the temple. And he used to clean, and he used to offer prasadam. And for tasting food also, he used to taste only prasadam. Like that, all his parts of the bodies were used in the service of Lord. Like that, we can do all our actions. If you are working or going to college or doing service in some industry or some office, you do all those things. Even if you are in business, you do the business. There are no restrictions. But while doing all those things, just remember Him. Because at the end of life, see, there are 3 letters. Whether you do know or I do not know, B, C, D letters. B is birth, D is death. What is C? Tell me. Can you tell me what is C? Sorry? Charity. No, not clarity. P is birth. D is death. C is choice. Choice of living. Choice of your life. What is life? Between birth and death is the life. Between birth and life is death. Death is life. That life choice is in your hands. Whether you are going to follow Dharma, you are going to remember God, I do not know. That you have to decide. That is your choice. See, there are 84 lakhs different living beings. Out of I am not telling population, different living beings like ant to Chaturmukha Brahma. Different living beings, we are going to, after this life, we will take another life. Which birth, we do not know. Whether we will take animal life or we go to higher planets, become Devatas, we do not know. It all depends upon virtues what we make. Bad virtues or good virtues. Papa and Punya. We should not make Papa, Punya, both of them. Then what should we do? See, if you do good things, you will get Punya. If you do bad things, you will get Papa. But you should not get Punya or Papa. Because Punya is like this one, shackles to our hands, bedi, golden bedi. And if it is Papa means iron, we don't need both of them. Because both are will lead to bondage. We need to live like a tree without any desires. You have to follow good way only, good path. But follow a tree. You know tree is what it does? When a big tree grows, bigger tree, small whatever tree grows, if you go and stand or sit in the shade of the tree, it gives you shade from the sun or rain. It gives you pure oxygen and takes the polluted carbon dioxide what you exhale. And whatever fruits, leaves, vegetables you get, you pluck them and eat it. And you take the leaves like mangoes and other things, you do it for decorations. You will take the flowers, use it for decorations or worship or use it for yourself. You cut the branches, make the furniture. Even you take out the roots also, like potatoes, carrots, or everything. The entire tree is cut off. But tree never says, don't cut me. This is my fruit, this is my leaf. It will never say. It will give you all like that. Our life should be without desires like a tree. You should help whoever is there along with you. Your own old parents at home, your other spouse, your children, while fulfilling the responsibilities in the colony, in the society, in the country, everyone, you should help each and everyone. You should help everyone in the country for their benefits. So, like that, whenever you go to the other, see the Devatas again. Again, Devatas, you can't consider everyone as a God. God is only one for all, for the entire mankind I am telling, for all the living beings also. It's not just for Hare Krishna. It's not just for men. For everyone God is there. So, these religions were made only by the political leaders for the last 2500 years, not now. Who followed Christ became Christians. Who followed Muhammad Prophet became Muslims. And we are the so-called Hindus. We are not Hindus. Sanatana Dharma is our name. These Persians and Britishers, they could not pronounce the Sindhu river, Sindhu Nadi, which is there between Pakistan and our country. They used to call it as Hindu Nadi. And because they do not know our religion, they say all the people who are staying other side, they started calling us Hindus. We became fools. We became fools. They given us the name, we have taken that name. Otherwise, this Sanatana Dharma is the only religion for all over the world. All over the world. And the Bharat name also, it is not for the India alone. For the entire world, it was Bharat. Bharatavamshe, Bharata, the son of Shakuntala, he was the emperor for the entire this thing. Later it got split. So we need, these devatas are like ministers and IAS officers under chief minister or prime minister. So, and they have responsibility. Each one is having different portfolios. Even devatas, not one, there are 33,000 crores devatas. For us, for blinking eyes, one devata is there. For moving hands, one devata. For walking, another devata. They will be controlling. Whom, if you go to different temples, how can you express your desire to them? You can't express because you do not know what is their portfolio. You need to respect them. Why? Why you need to respect them? They are devotees of Krishna. They are doing their services perfectly. They are doing their duties perfectly. Only we, because human beings, he has given the intelligence, we add extra to the intelligence, we misuse it. So we should avoid that misuse. We should try to remember God. If you go to other temples also, just pray to them, ask them, please provide me devotion in Krishna. And when you come to Krishna, Krishna knows what he should give it to you. At appropriate time, even without asking, he will give it to you. Like to your children, without asking, you provide them chocolates, ice cream, whatever their milk, food, everything you provide. Similarly, Krishna knows what he should provide to us. So, don't desire him. Even if you want to desire, you can desire him. Whatever desire there, you put before him. He will accept. Like that. So, in Kali Yuga, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We shall chant his name for a few times before dispersing for today. Please chant Hare Krishna Mantra few times. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Siva Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please tell loudly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Swasti Pravantyam Nyayena Margena Mahishaha Govashvastu Nityam Samasta Lokasantu Kayena Vacha Manasi Indriya Buddhyatpate Swabhavat Karomi Yedyat Prasmai Narayanati Sarpayami Sriman Arjan Sarvam Sri Krishna Prasu Mangalam Jai Sri Radha Upnath ki Jai Sri Jagannath Baldev Sodramai ki Jai Sri Nasing Bhagwan ki Jai Sri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Sri Panchatattva ki Jai Sri Madhva Granth ki Jai Sri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai Sri Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna.